Why do I keep yelling at my kids even though I don't want to? This is a common question that many of my clients over the past 4 to 5 years have had. And actually, it's a question that I had at one point. The only difference is a lot of my clients also have another question, which is, why do I keep spanking even though I know I don't want to and it doesn't resonate with me to do it anymore? Why do I keep doing this? Here are some other questions that I've had over the years that are also covered in the free book that you can get from me if you direct message me the word peace. It's the third book that I wrote, and it answers a lot of questions that I get on my page. Why do I get so triggered by my child? Why do I keep losing my temper with my child? How can I stop expecting my child to behave perfectly? In this video, we're going to talk about it just a little bit. When we stop expecting our children to show up the way that we think they should, the way that we expect them to, we are going to suffer in parenthood a whole lot less. There's going to be less screaming, less spanking, less war inside of the home. War? Michelle, you're taking it too far. War? Yes, war. It's just the countries don't scream at and spank their enemies. They scream actually, but they don't spank or hit them, right? They go a lot further, but it's all on the same spectrum. It all starts from a trigger, from seeing separation, and it just happens that in our homes, we're not using the same arsenal, the same tools of destruction that they are using when the countries go to war. But it's the same root, the same foundation, it's the same trigger, the same belief in separation. One country expects the other country to act a certain way. If the other country doesn't, the other country gets bombed. Parent expects the child to act a certain way. Parent expects the child to walk on eggshells and not trigger the parent. Child lives their life just being who they are, learning and growing, and pushes a button in the parent that releases suppressed energy to be held space for and released. The parent hasn't really learned how to self-regulate or prioritize their peace. They get triggered and they project that onto the child by way of hitting, beating, screaming, etc. So not bombing, not war, the way you see it through the countries, but the same belief in separation, the same having expectations of others to operate the way that you want them to operate. And you got to remember that the primary reason you want your child to operate the way that you want them to is because that's how you were programmed and conditioned to. We weren't programmed and conditioned to just accept things as they are, to unconditionally love, but that's okay because that's your natural state. And that's why it feels so good and so freeing to remember what you truly are. You unconditionally love yourself and your child. You unconditionally accept yourself and your child. You are willing to unconditionally forgive yourself and your child over and over and over again. That is what you are at your core. That's why it feels like absolute shit when you argue, hit, scream, yell, have power struggles, because those behaviors are not in alignment or in sync with what you truly are. Then why do I do it, Michelle? Why do I keep doing it? Because you were programmed and conditioned to, and it's what you saw adults and society doing to children your whole life. So stop being mean to yourself about your past and your past actions. And start doubling down every day throughout the day on consciously and intentionally choosing peace over war. And you'll start to notice that the more you choose peace, the more you are being who and what you truly are. The cool thing is, no matter what you've done in the past, even if you flip out in 10 minutes, you are unconditionally loved and accepted no matter what, by that which is the source of your being and the source of life. You cannot escape the love that you are and how loved and accepted you are. Drop expectations as best as you can. Stay aware of the thoughts and emotions that come and go. You could even have some fun with the question, a self-inquiry question when you are triggered. And you can ask yourself, what am I expecting of this moment? Where did I learn to expect anything of this moment? And just sit with that. In the sitting with that, you are already breaking the cycle of hyperreactivity in that moment. And you are already stretching your capacity to accept what's happening in the moment. I help parents rewire their inner world so that they remember that peace is their natural state. And then they start to parent more and more and more from that peace. Not because of me, though. They don't need me. They don't need anything because they have everything they need inside of them. But because they've given themselves permission to prioritize their peace. And the more you prioritize your peace, the more that you parent from, handle your finances from, handle your relationships from that peace. If you want to start that transformation or continue on your transformation, and if you want me to be a part of your journey for just a little bit, then you can direct message me the word peace, and I will send you the third book that I published, Guided by Grace, Transforming Parenthood Through Inner Peace. Game changer, concise, direct, to the point, answers a lot of questions that I get in my direct messages and on the comments area of my social media pages. And I will give you that book for free. Just DM me the word peace. And also, if you want to partner with me one-on-one, same thing. Just direct message me the word peace, and we'll go from there. You are already amazing just the way that you are. Let's remember that together and watch the impact that remembering that has on our entire life, not just parenthood.